Welcome to a breaking news Thursday night, unplanned, although we did plan it yesterday, edition of the OHIO podcast, Fall Camp Day 1 review. And we've got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's program is brought to you by Vassals 2.0 for all your printing needs. Hats, t-shirts, mugs, tumblers, signs, you name it. Vassals 2.0 can do it. You can dream it. We can make it over at Vassals. It's an Ohio company with Ohio State fans making your dreams come true on whatever you want us to print it on. Link in the description below. Check out Vassals 2.0. Joining me this evening for our program. They're the three best friends that anybody could ever have. That's right. We were hanging out with B. Moses today at the spring practice at Ohio State at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, and we've got thoughts, and we're here to answer your questions. I got some energy. That's right, Wilbuck. I got some energy tonight. Football's back, baby. It was awesome. Got to hear Coach Locke. I have a new favorite Coach Locke saying now already today. We're going to get into that.
He was on his top of his game today.
Oh,
yes, he was. Ever? He was having a good time.
Keenan Bailey running around trying to figure out where he's at. There was that. The offensive line looked really good, I thought. Devin McEwen out there running routes like he has been at Ohio State his whole career. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to get into it all. We're going to answer all your questions. I know we're on an hour early, everybody. Tyler, can you make Legend not suspended? All right, let's start there. Let's start there tonight. So we get there, and the players all run out onto the field, and we start looking around, and some of the people who are with us, and we're all like, where's Legend Bay at? He wasn't in the wide receiver room. He wasn't working out with the running backs. Shoot, I even was like scanning the quarterbacks. I'm like, is he over in the quarterback? Like, where is he at? Nowhere to be found. We're looking around the fields. We don't see a number 2 in a red jersey. Offense was in red. Defense was in white. And then news broke as soon as we left that he has been suspended. Now, Bart wants to make up rumors. We're not going to let Bart do that this evening. But it sounds like he's going to be suspended for at least 3 practices, is what I'm gathering. And Ryan Day told the media it was because he broke some team rules. So I don't even know what team rules you could break that would suspend you for 3 practices. It can't be that bad. Because if it was real bad, he would be suspended indefinitely, and he's not. So it must be some kind of minor team infraction. I don't know. Maybe he wore blue inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. I don't know. But I will say this. This tells me everything we need to know about Ryan Day and what he thinks about his culture at Ohio State. And we had an interesting conversation on the way home from the Woody, us 3, about it. And I want to start right there. Bart, you brought up some interesting. You said he might be going harder on Legend because of who Legend is than maybe he would a lesser insignificant player. So I'll let you start with that.
Well, I was just thinking, and of course we don't know what went on, what he did or anything, but I was just thinking that he is trying to teach Legend a lesson. If he was late for a practice or a session or something like that, that could get you suspended just to teach him a lesson. But we've heard nothing but great things about Legend all spring, all summer. He maybe just said, hey, you broke this. This is a big deal. If it was a walk-on, maybe let it slide. But this could set up Legend for a great year. And I mean, this is getting this kid's focused. He is a freshman. He's away from home. He wanted to be here. He wanted to be coached like this, and he's getting coached like it. I just think you go harder on your better players because you're setting an example. And I just think that if he is not going to be participating this year, he's just going to be on the sidelines. I don't think he goes this hard at him, but I think he sees something in Legend that could be great. And he says, let's get this out of the way. These are the rules. You broke them. Don't do it again. You missed 3 practices. And especially when there are people like us talking, watching. This is a big time for it. This is this kid's first exposure to the OSU fans. Are these 3 practices? So I'm hoping it is. If it's a small infraction, which I'm pretty sure it is, I think he's just going to go harder on him, saying this is what you need to do to be a superstar here. And if it could be at the first fall practice rather than next year when he's really contributing, I'll take that 100 times a year.
Bart, did your dad coach you?
He did not.
Okay.
He did. He did in baseball, not in football.
But you coached your daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Were you harder on your daughter than anybody else?
What do you think? Oh, my gosh. Yes, 100%.
Okay.
But the thing of it is, I expected more out of her than anybody else. I knew what she was about. I knew what she could get away with, what she couldn't, but I set an example. Legend might be like the top freshman of this class, meaning that other freshmen kind of gravitate towards him. And with my daughter, I expected her to do the right things because other kids were watching. If I was soft on her, guess what? Everybody else could be soft too. He could just be taking the bullet right here, although albeit a hard bullet, but it's first 3 practices. Can he make it up? Heck yes, he can make it up. But yes, you are harder on the ones you expect more out of. Let's just say that.
Yeah. My dad was always harder on me than everybody else.
Oh.
But he knew, well, he'd always say, I know you can take it.
Yeah. Maybe if you don't, who cares? Because you're still coming home with me and you're going to live with me.
Maybe this is Ryan Day being daddy. Is this Ryan Day being a father figure here?
Well, I mean, he's away from home. First time. He wanted to be here. And I think that Coach Day loves that. It's like Tennessee. And then it's like, you know what? This is my decision. I want to be with Coach Day. I want to be at this program. So, yeah, he could be taken under his wing and say, it's a hard lesson for you, son, but you're going to learn it and you're not going to make it again. And he won't. I am sure he will not make this mistake again.
Chris, you were shaking your head on the daddy comment. By the way, you left your inhaler in my truck. I have that. So
if he dies tonight, you can just show it. You can show it to him right in the face. Like,
Chris, here. Shh.
Yeah, take it.
I have a backup.
Good deal.
Eric, I can never get in your truck without leaving something behind. Usually it's insulin.
Well, you and my wife. Hey-o! Chris is like,
he's got that tough mountain look.
Go ahead, Chris. The show is now yours. I will exit stage left.
First of all, much like what Ryan Day's beard put up in the comments, I also read too when I was researching it when I came home that it was for being late to a team meeting. I don't know 100% if that's true because I haven't been able to vet a source on it, but would not surprise me at all. And I do think very much that's exactly what Ryan Day is doing. Ryan Day is setting the standard right out of the gate for these kids. If you screw up, there's going to be accountability. We love you, but there's accountability. If you miss you mess up and you are late to a team meeting, you're going to get held out of a practice or two. And, and Eric, you talked about his first exposure to the Ohio State fans would have been today, and you're 100% right. But it wasn't just that. There were also scouts from 8 NFL teams there.
8? Okay, I remember seeing the New York Giants.
At least 8. Mm-hmm.
San Francisco 49ers.
Yes.
Indianapolis Colts. I saw those 3 with my own 2 eyes. Who else was
Cleveland Browns, Colts, Commanders, Giants, Jets, Packers, Patriots, and the Raiders, in addition to the 49ers. There's actually at least 9 that we know of.
Leave it to Cincinnati Bengals to not drive up I-71, of course. Continue.
So, I mean, I think he has to look at himself and say, man, this wasn't just my first chance to get in front of these fans. This was also my first chance to get NFL eyes on me at an early time and make an impression where they're going to come back and keep watching. So, again, I just go back to kind of what Bart was saying. I'm going to reiterate that. I feel like this was just Ryan Day saying, like you mentioned, culture. He's just setting the standard right up at the front and saying, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if, well, it might matter if your name's Jeremiah Smith. I don't know. But other than that, it does not matter who you are. But I don't even think it would matter with him, not with Ryan Day. Doesn't matter who you are. You're going to be held accountable. You're going to be held to a standard. And if your name is Jeremiah Smith, if your name is Julian Saint, if your name is Legend Bay, maybe Bart's right. Maybe you're being held to a higher standard because more is expected of you.
You know, and you mentioned Jeremiah Smith. If he was late, there was 100% that he would be suspended too. I think the media would make a bigger deal out of it.
Yeah, but Jeremiah Smith wouldn't be late.
He would not. No,
That's the key.
But would he his freshman year, the first time? You know, maybe Legends there. Maybe he took the wrong train, bus or something like that. But they have NIL money, so I'm sure they have nice cars going to the Woody or whatever. But if he lets Legend get away with it, you have to let everybody get away with it, because the next time there's a team meeting and somebody's late, it's like, well, Legend was fine. You just can't treat anybody different, no matter what the name is on your back. Right. And I think Ryan Day does a great job of that.
And to be, I mean, not to push them while they're down, but that's what Team Up North would do. It's what they allow their quarterback to get away with all the time.
What kind of suspensions do you see when
he's the $12 to $16 million investment, and he can do no wrong, even though he's basically doing wrong all the time.
Whatever happened to that picture, Eric, that they were smoking in the boys' room? Yeah,
the hot boxing. Nothing ever happened to it. It was probably handled quietly in-house, is what they would be told. But no, I'm with you guys. I think that you're setting the standard from the word jump. And if that causes a player to say, then I don't want to be here, then you don't want them anyways. Mm-hmm. If you're mad at Coach Locke for making you, all right, let's just move to Coach Locke.
Which Legend Bay may be thankful for being suspended today, because Coach Locke was on one right out of the gate today, man.
Yeah, he was. So Chris and I witnessed this last year, and it was why we chose where we wanted to stand, because we wanted Bart to get the full Coach Locke experience.
I did.
Okay? He coaches so hard, and these players, they have to take that hard coaching, or they're just not going to play. That being said, so it was funny because if you fumble the football at any point in practice, you do a lap. And there were 2 fumbles today by running backs who literally got up, never turned around, just got up and took off running.
and
one of them wasn't even a fumble. It was caused by the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't surprise me that Isaiah West just took off on his own. He's been in the system before. But Jacoby Jackson, I think, was the other one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And he didn't hesitate. He knew.
And there was a point in this practice when they were 11 on 11, when they did a screen pass to, I think it was Isaiah West, and he outran the tight ends who were late to the block. And Coach Locke, again, this is going to sound like I'm piling on Keenan Bailey, because I am. Coach Locke goes insane on this tight end and is just screaming and yelling at him, "You've got to get there. You have to make that block." He springs it. He's just going. And I'm like, where's Keenan Bailey at? That's his guy, his room, and Coach Locke is doing his job for him. Go ahead, Chris.
Is it really his room?
Well,
because from what we saw today, Eric, there may be some question about, is it his room? because we saw Coach Locke coaching up his guys and chastising his guys. We saw another coach, another assistant there, really leaning hard into coaching those tight ends. And I guess Keenan Bailey was playing the CEO of the tight end room. Can we say that? Because he was just kind of standing back watching. Yeah, he got in there a little bit, but for the most part, it was these other guys.
He was running around almost like
he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, almost like you're running around to look like you're. It's kind of like when your boss comes into your room and you try to in your office and you try to look busy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you've
George
done that
Costanza.
before, Eric. No, it's the Eric Boggs show right there.
By the way, Vader, we'll get to that. Vader made a comment.
Oh, sorry. Anything, so.
All right.
Vader made a comment out there that we can get to later.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Remind me to come back around to that.
Yeah.
Let's finish talking about.
But Keenan Bailey, you're right. Keenan Bailey was, I thought, completely out of sorts.
Now,
but Coach Locke was on his game.
Well, let me ask you this question here: is Coach Locke is one tough, coach?
SOB.
Oh yeah.
Not all coaches are like that.
No.
You're gonna know what motivates your players. Not everybody's gonna be a rah, I'm gonna be up in your face kind of guy. Locke is. He is always that. But Keenan Bailey's not like that. Do you have to be a person like Locke to get the best out of your players?
No, I don't think
so.
But
you have to know what you're doing, Bart.
Well, I say let's not pile on him just because he's different than Coach Locke. I just, our tight ends have never been the greatest because I don't think we've ever utilized them. I think his job is on the line this year because Arthur Smith does use his tight ends and his weaknesses will be shown.
And Arthur Smith was coaching, doing a great job. We heard Arthur Smith coaching up people.
Absolutely.
You could hear him across the field. So I love that. But let's go back to Coach Locke for a minute. Your favorite Coach Locke moment, Chris, from today?
There's only one.
Had to be when he got on. I think it was Turbo again. Last year he was all over Turbo, and I think he was on him again today because Turbo was I think he was cutting up a little in the line. And he goes, "What you doing standing here like this? Like you got your little purse here?"
He goes, "You got a purse on? You wearing a purse? You standing like you got a purse on the corner of the street." I was like, "Wow!" And then he mocked him. He showed him how he was standing and this is in front of everybody. In front of everybody.
I mean, this is 20 feet in front of us, Eric. That's how close it was. It's like 20, 30 feet in front of us that this is happening.
And he told it was Stanley Jackson Jr. He said, "Stanley, this drill's going to eat you up. You got 2 left feet, son."
Yeah.
I mean, he just doesn't hold back. And I'll throw this up again. You remember the comment, DGG just wants to go have fun? Practice with Coach Locke's not fun. But I'll tell you what. I think those guys, when it's all said and done, are going to appreciate how he pushed them.
You know what? I disagree with you there, Eric. I think it is fun because he just doesn't cut you down. When he does it, he picks you back up. And I'm sure after practices, he is just cutting up with those players. But when he's on the field, when you step on those lines, you're getting coached. But guess what? I'm going to tear you down, but I'm going to build you back up and make you a better running back. So I don't think it's like tough love, tough coaching. And I was thinking that DGG, how can you not want to be coached by? But that was one of the advantages Ohio State had because DGG did like Coach Locke tremendously. But he kind of followed the money and didn't want to be coached by one of the best in the business, and there he is. So
yeah.
Can we go on record real quick as saying probably the most underappreciated assistant coach, maybe in the country, outside of Ohio? Coach Locke is an absolute gem as a assistant, and I can also say I'd love to see him have a bigger role at some point. Because his type of energy is just infectious.
What an upgrade from our last one. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Isaiah West taking snaps at the 1. A
lot of 'em.
lot.
Hey, did you guys? I caught this very much in the drills that they were running right in front of us. Who was the number one person up every drill?
Every drill. Isaiah West.
And that dude, I'm telling you what, is a beast. And I kept on telling you guys this is going to be his year. And I really think it's going to be more of a Junkins Henderson kind of role of carries that we're going to see between Bo Jackson and Isaiah West. He's just not a kind of bigger dude. If you look at, remember that first drill he had where he was telling Stanley Jackson he had 2 left feet? He was just buzzing through those little cones or whatever they had back and forth with both feet. Oh my gosh.
Jump cuts. Yeah, they're working on their jump cuts.
Oh my gosh. He's freaking quick, but he's big. I don't know if as big as Jacoby, but he's right up there with Jacoby.
Yeah, so Jacoby's big. That's a big dude. But first practice, you could tell he's a little bit lost compared to the guys who've been there. It's Bo Jackson and Isaiah West. Those are 1A and 1B. And Isaiah West is getting a lot of reps with the ones. Mm-hmm. I'm with you, Bart. I don't think we have a 1 and 2. I think we have 2 1s, and that's just the way it's going to be with those guys. I think Turbo Rogers is going to get some play. I do. He's right. He's knocking on the door, guys. If there's an injury or if it's like, hey, Bo's shoulder was a little banged up after the Texas game, we're going to limit his carries. Don't be surprised if Turbo Rogers is right in there getting 10, 12, 15 carries beside Isaiah West. I think he's by far the second one. Podfather, who do you think will be in the starting backfield for Ohio State when the season starts? We'll get to the defense after we do the offense. I see your question. We'll get to that.
I think he means the running backs, doesn't he? Starting backfield?
Well, if he does, that's a simple answer. That's going to be Bo Jackson is still going to get his job back. He's going to be the number 1 guy out there. But Isaiah West and him are, I agree with Bart, going to split time 50-50. Mm-hmm. It's going to be very much Travion Judkins situation. But like you, I think Turbo's going to get some play. Obviously, Legend Bay is going to get some play as long as he can make it to the team meetings on time. And, I look at Jacoby Jackson, and I think this is the kid who's going to get some play, whether it's on special teams. He's a big enough kid. He could go in a fullback role. We did not see Nate Roberts line up in the backfield at all today.
Not one
He was
time.
out as a tight end.
Well, and let's transition to tight ends now.
Well, real quick. Do you see Jacoby as the CJ Donaldson role last year near the goal line?
Potentially.
Isaiah West is big. He can do it.
I'll tell you straight up right now what I would do, Bart, and I like Chris's idea.
Backfield.
That's my lead blocker. He is a tank. He is an absolute tank, man.
Can you imagine?
He's broad too.
Lead blocking for Legend Bay. Either you sweep it outside with a fast guy, or you pull it right in the guy's gut, right up the middle. You pick your poison.
And Jacoby's got the speed to get out there to lead block.
Oh, he does.
We saw him have some wheels today.
Yes. You know what I would do? Justin Martin, you are my goal line quarterback. That guy is
big kid.
He is a monster of a quarterback.
Man, he looks like another number 16 that we used to have, man.
No, let's not talk
What
about
was his
that.
name?
Come on, Chris. Why would you?
JT Barrett. Yes, JT Barrett.
The fullback with the arm. That's kind of what he reminded me of, but he didn't have the accuracy of JT.
No, he did not. He doesn't have the fortitude as JT either.
So there's your running back take. Coach Locke. Coach Locke is
let's move on.
Awesome. West and Bo are 1A, 1B. They're going to be splitting carries. And Isaiah West, watch out. He might lead the team in rushing this year. He is a horse. A lot of people saying he's not fast. I disagree. I think he's plenty quick enough.
Maybe not top end speed, but he's got the quickness to get out of there.
Some of those, when they went 11 on 11, some of those runs when he hit the hole, he was 10, 15 yards. If those linebackers weren't in the hole, if they were getting chipped at all, he's in the secondary.
Yeah.
He's plenty fast enough. All right. Tight ends. Weakest room on the entire team?
By far.
Yeah. Probably,
I think so. Bennett Christian is your top tight end. I think that's pretty evident. He was leading all the drills. He's also the oldest on the team. He's probably physically the biggest, I would say, for the most part. Nate Roberts was not really in with the ones quite a bit. That surprised me. The other tight end that was getting a lot of play was the transfer from Ohio University, Williams.
Mason.
Mason.
Mason,
Yeah, Mason Williams.
Hunter Welsing. Again, I didn't see anything that blew me away. I will say this though. The freshman from Southern Ohio.
Yes.
What was his name? I don't
Eric's
think it's
looking at
Nick.
his-
Is it Nick Latar?
It's Nick. No, it's Nick.
Nick Lachey. That's who it was.
Yeah, I wish it was a Lachey. Don't get me started on that. He's the tallest linebacker in the room. He is incredibly athletic looking. I know he wasn't highly recruited, but if he can develop, he could be something. He just looked incredibly athletic, cut, tall. Like he looked like an NFL tight end to me.
He did.
Yeah, but the tight end room guys, I don't
They
know.
got some work. They got some work
to do.
Just how big they are or not big they are. I could see an extra offensive lineman coming out there and being a tight end, a blocking tight end. You just don't have the width, the size that is just. Oh, I'm a blocking tight end. I'm not going to catch a few maybe balls, but we don't have that. We have like a lot of pass catchers that are tight ends, not people that can move anybody.
Yeah, we got a linebacker room that's pretty stacked and jacked. Slide one of them over to tight end if we need be at times.
Worked out before for Stover.
We have another.
We got another Stover over there.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about him when we go over to the defense. But
yeah.
Tight ends, I think other than Bennett Christian, it's wide open. That's my interpretation of what I saw today, and I wasn't blown away by anybody. And yeah, I agree, Don. We're not recruiting the position well. I wasn't impressed with Keenan. Keenan Bailey has been a swing and a miss all year at recruiting in the 2027 cycle. I think he just runs around. He came out and he was talking to the crowd. Coach Locke doesn't talk to the crowd. He doesn't need to. That's not his job. Ryan Day wasn't talking to the crowd. Like, I don't know, man. It just rubs me the wrong way, and maybe it's just me, but I feel like our tight end room is the weakness of this football team right now. Let's go to the offensive line.
Hey, Anthony
Schlegel talked to the crowd,
and he's still jacked. I'll tell you that.
He's not a position coach, though. He's not a position coach, and
he'll put you in a position. Make no mistake. He pretty much suggested that.
Yeah.
Nick Latar. That's it, Latar.
Yes.
He looks like, if you were to just line them all up, you would say that's the best one, just based off of looks. I understand he's not highly recruited, and
just based off of looks, who would win between us three?
In what? What depends on what the competition is.
Tight ends.
It would be you.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I have no end, so.
Chris in his 5'8" frame, I don't think he's getting it done at tight end. He's a center.
I'm a tight ass, maybe me a tight end.
Well, now we all know better than that, Bart. I've seen the bills at the store.
That is true. Okay. With somebody else's money, I'm not, but.
All right. Offensive line. So this was one of our top questions we had. Who was going to come out and start on the offensive line with the first team? And Ryan Day answered, because they asked him about it in the post-practice news conference, and he said, we were trying a few different things. We wanted to see what Austin would look like at guard, so we moved him to right guard to start off, but we're going to get the best 5 in there. So as of today, practice number 1, Ian Moore at left tackle. Let's see. We had who was at left guard?
Montgomery.
Luke Montgomery was at left guard. Carson Hinsman is at center. Austin Sierreveld is at right guard. And then we had at right tackle was
Daniels.
Philip Daniels. Thank you. that was your first team offensive line, and I thought they played well, Bart.
It was hard to tell because there's no contact, there's no anything, but holes were
There was
opening up.
contact on the 11-on-11. I mean, they were blocking.
Yeah, but they didn't have pads on.
Yeah, they did. They had like shoulder pads.
Small ones, you know.
What they call those spider pads? Is that what they call them?
I think so. In this, yeah, they got some holes up there. It was just hard to tell because nobody was going, I would say 100%. But they did open some holes. They looked good. It was just nice to see who was coming out. And I think Ryan Day could say, oh, nothing's set in stone right now, but they look pretty good out there, those five. So
I thought they looked.
There's no Tegra, so hey, we're doing good.
well, yeah, but I thought that they only one time did I feel like the defensive line got a lot of pressure on the quarterback on the 11-on-11. The rest of the time they were doing a good job pass blocking, and I thought they run blocked really well.
Yeah.
Don says not Daniels at right tackle. He's your right tackle, guys. Mark it down.
Although Sam Greer is a massive human being.
Yes, Sam Greer, the true freshman from Akron, number 77, if I remember right, was his number. He is a monster. He's a mountain of a human being. He's your backup right tackle right now. So if something happens with Phillip or Phillip is just not having a good game and they pull him, Sam Greer, the true freshman, is going to go in unless they decide to kick Austin over to right tackle in the next few practices. So,
yeah, but if you do that, who goes to right guard?
I think you put in Padilla.
That would be yes.
That'd be Sean's dream.
Or Van Sickle.
Yeah.
So they have options.
They do.
And like Ryan Day said, we want to put the best five out there. Don't even do it, Chris. Don't even respond. It's someone who literally did not watch the first 20 minutes of the program, obviously. So no, I believe that the offensive line is going to be, again, I'm the cheerleader for the offensive line this year, right? That's what you all, put a 2-2 on Boggsy, let him be the cheerleader, and I'm gonna wear it all year. I think the offensive line is going to be good. I really do.
Is there a picture out there of that?
Me in a 2-2?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to probably create one if there isn't.
No, didn't RDCB put you in a cheerleading outfit before?
He did. Yes. Yeah.
It was not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was too bad.
What did you think about the offensive line, Chris?
I said it before and I'll say it again. It is what we thought it was. It is. They are who we thought they would be. These are the guys that everybody's been saying all year long. We're probably the most likely starting five. I know that Sean is upset about that, probably, I'm sure, because he really was in love with the idea of having Padilla in there and kicking Carson out to guard again. But, I think Ryan Day has earned the opportunity to get the benefit of the doubt here. Now, he says if you listen to him, they're Scarlet and Grays. They're not 1 and 2, so nothing is set in stone yet. This is a legitimate competition. Let me tell you, what I saw today is what they're planning to run out there the first game this season.
I think so.
I have no doubt about it. Those are the five guys they think give them the best opportunity to win. And honestly, who are we to question them?
Is this the best second unit offensive line that you've seen here for a while?
We've definitely got quality depth this year.
Yeah. Let's go over that. So you had Sam Greer at right tackle, right? I feel like we had Jake Cook was one of the guards, correct? Padilla was at center.
Yep.
The other tackle was...
Did Lowe play? Was he in there?
Carter Lowe? Yeah, Carter Lowe was
Carter
the other
Lowe was in
tackle
there.
Recall. I don't remember. Van Sickle. Van Sickle was at guard.
Van Sickle was the other guard.
I thought Armstrong was in there too.
He was third string.
He was third string. He's
So Carter Lowe, Sam Greer, Van Sickle, Padilla, and one other one was your second string, and it was good. They did well.
They were solid.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk wide receivers. So they run out in the first go here, and Brandon Ennis indeed is wide. He's out wide, and I was like, holy crap! But guess who they had in the slot the first time?
Jeremiah Smith.
And everybody's like, huh? It's like Scooby-Doo. Huh? Now, when they went back to 11 on 11, good on goods again, that wasn't the case. Jeremiah was back on the outside. Brandon Ennis was in the slot. But it became very evident to me today that the other wide receiver running with Ennis and Smith is number 3, Devin McEwen. And it is, I don't think it's even in close, guys. I think that's your other wide receiver on the first string.
Yeah, I told you on the way down, when I was reading, and it looks like he is. He's not a big receiver. He's no Chris Henry. He's no Kyle Parker. He's more of that. He looks like your prototypical slot receiver, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Your Brandon Ennis in Jigba,
But he's not in the slot.
He is not. He is on the outside. I'm just, maybe they got something different cooked up. I can't see you throwing it deep down to McEwen and having him jump up and get a ball. But maybe he's a good route runner and he's not going to go deep. I think
he's a phenomenal route runner.
Yes, he is.
Some of those mesh routes concepts they were running in the second part of practice, he was burning.
Well, let's not forget, he's got a lot of experience too. He's had a lot of yards and experienced receiver. No matter where you're at, you still have to get away from cornerbacks. You have to find separation, and he seems like he could do it.
Yes.
Yeah. UTSA, guys, is where he was from.
Yep.
The Road Runners of University of Texas San Antonio. Devin McEwen is about to make himself a lot of money in the NFL draft next year. I feel like he's someone who a lot of people didn't really have on their radar, and I think by the end of the year he's going to be a household name. I'll say this is my early prediction based off of one practice, so it's probably a terrible prediction. Devin McEwen will be second on the team in receiving yards this year.
Out of that slot position, I can see it.
He's not in the slot. He's running.
Sorry, he was running. Yeah,
he's running Carnell Tate's routes. He's running Carnell Tate's routes.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what though. You look at this team, and this wide receiver room is perhaps the most complete receiver room I think I've ever seen. Because how many times did we see a guy playing a different position today along there? You mentioned it. Jeremiah Smith started out in the slot. Ennis is at home in the slot. McEwen was in the slot at one point today. It was we had, and then we get to the second, third team guys. I'm going to tell you right now, a couple of them played in the slot, and then they played up on the outside. About the only person who didn't play the slot, I think, was Chris Henry. This room has got so much talent and so much versatility. I'm telling you right now, look for 6 players out of that room to actually contribute. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they'll all contribute big, but look for 6 players out of that room to contribute. And who knows, maybe more, because we even saw Guilford got in there early, or got in there during the 11 on 11. Brock Boyd was in there. Phillip Bell was in there. Phillip Bell, by the way, watch him on special teams.
Yeah.
I thought he looked really good doing the punt receiving.
Brandon Ennis was still catching punts as well, but they had Phillip Bell back there a lot with him. I wouldn't mind seeing someone other than Brandon Ennis do that. But yeah, good call on that, Chris.
No, I think that your prediction, Eric, was good, but it's a toss-up. I really think it's Jeremiah Smith, and then it could be anybody. That's how I think we're loaded at position. I don't think you have a Carnell Tate amongst those guys right now, but you have some really, really good guys. Brock Boyd is not big at all, but he is lightning quick, and his routes are just unbelievable. Yeah, Chris Henry's just big and skinny. If he could put some muscle on, he's going to be one to watch for. I think your prediction is right, but I don't think we know because they're so they're just all really really good players, and I'd
We
rather
may have Jeremiah. Oh, go ahead.
no
Carl, I'm
no
sorry.
I'd rather have 6 really really good players than 2 great players.
I was going to say, you may see this team have Jeremiah Smith over 1,000. You may see 4 or 5 guys at 500 yards. You really could. It's that. I think that's the kind of wide receiver room we have. I don't think you will. I don't think that's a realistic thought, but I think the potential is there that it could happen.
Well, and we got to remember who covers the slot on defense.
Usually a linebacker
nickel.
or the safety.
Yeah, nickel. Or you got nickel, or you got your linebacker,
Or your third linebacker, yeah.
Can you imagine what Jeremiah Smith would do to a linebacker?
Oh, he would tear him up.
Come on. Even a nickel or a free safety or strong safety or whatever. He's just going to have the advantage. If you can, I think that's where Arthur Smith is really going to shine, is creating mismatches for Jeremiah Smith. I really do. And layering, of course, Eric.
We saw it today. We saw the layering.
Yeah, that's what.
What we haven't seen is the picture of Bart in his hat.
Yeah, we're not going to tonight. I ran out of time. Had some company show up this afternoon, and I just couldn't dedicate as much time to this as I wanted to for tonight's show. But where was the question we had about Coach Hank?
He was working with Larry Johnson.
Yeah,
Vader-
you want to talk
No, it
about
wasn't
that?
Coach Hank. It was Jonathan Hankins. Was out there working with Larry Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Hankins is considering getting into coaching. And my question is,
I didn't see him.
is
Maybe
this
you guys did.
is this a successor
go.
in training potentially?
Maybe.
We know that Ryan Day likes to bring Ohio State guys back.
Well,
Let him learn under the best.
Can I say this about Larry Johnson first? Where did the man find the fountain of youth? He looked healthier today than he has in a couple years. He's out there moving around good still, coaching his guys up. He's standing straighter. I don't know if you guys just physically saw his posture. He used to do a lot of bending over and holding on to his knees and things.
He looked lighter though too, Eric.
Yeah, he did. I think he's lost some weight.
I don't care if he's in a wheelchair. I'm still pushing him out there, and you have him yell to the freaking defensive line. So
Vader, we need your chair.
Yeah.
Coach
Maybe your
Johnson
oxygen too. So
that was good call on that, Chris. Good eyes. I didn't notice that today.
I did not either.
We'll get to the defense in just a second, but the wide receivers look good. As far as the freshmen are concerned, I'm still most impressed with Chris Henry Jr. I know Brock Boyd has been getting all the pub. I know people are still talking about all this greatness that he's been doing in practices and workouts, and Jeremiah Smith says he's even ahead of him when he got on campus. Like Chris Henry, to me, Chris Henry Jr. is still the best freshman I saw at wide receiver. You guys agree or disagree?
Yeah, mainly because we got to see him make some really good catches right and directly in front of us, Eric. The young man has all the talent in the world. He's got a great, long frame. He is going to be a definite weapon in the red zone. You can throw those fade patterns up there and just let him go up and get them. Chris Henry Jr. he's tremendous. I'm not discounting Brock Boyd. I'm not discounting anybody else that's in that room. But yeah, absolutely. I think that Chris Henry Jr. is going to be as advertised. I think this is the deepest, perhaps most talented room from top to bottom that Ohio State has had. And that's saying a lot. Because you think back to the year they had, was Olave, Smith and Jigba, and Garrett Wilson. I think this room can rival that.
It's spread out a little bit more, though.
Yeah. My worry with Chris Henry is he's just not built yet. He's going to be pushed around. Cornerback's going to be pushing him around. He's just tall and thin. He's
getting there, though, Bart. He's getting there.
He is, but he's no Jeremiah Smith when he first got here.
Well, who is?
No, Jeremiah Smith's a freak.
Jeremiah Smith came in from the planet of where Superman came from. I don't remember the planet. But
Krypton.
Krypton. Thank you. Like Jeremiah Smith is not human.
Yeah.
He's an alien. He's a freak of nature.
I think
to compare him to Jeremiah, I would say compare him to Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. Well, he was one of the top receivers in the whole country too, so it
Right.
is a good comparison because so was Jeremiah, but he's just not physically there yet. Now, what Chris said, a lob pass, and he could definitely do that. But to break tackles where he can get it is separation. If he can get separation from some guys, he's going to. Don't get me wrong, he's going to contribute and he's going to do a really good job this year. But just watch out next year because we're really going to need him. And if he bulks up, he's going to be our top receiver.
He'll get there. I think Chris Henry Jr. is fine. I think it's just he doesn't. When he's standing next to Jeremiah Smith, he looks skinny because it's like, but Randy Moss was that way too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed with Chris Henry Jr. I've seen him in person twice now, and both times I've walked away saying that's your next superstar wide receiver. And that's just what my eyeballs tell me. I know everybody's telling me saying Brock Boyd is going to be a superstar, and I hear it. I hear that, but my eyeballs tell me Chris Henry Jr. is going to be a problem for people.
Well, and I might be a little wrong. You know, he has put some weight on, like Glass City said, but I've compared him to Jeremiah Smith, which is completely wrong.
Right.
You look at Jeremiah, and his muscle is just a different human being. So
Jeremiah Smith might be able to go to like a Mr. Universe competition and look good. Like it's ridiculous.
They stand beside each other, and there's like, oh my gosh, this guy's small. So Chris Henry could put some weight on, and he has. But just comparing him to the body is maybe not right for me to do. And so we'll see.
Jeremiah Smith, you have to compare him against Myles Garrett. Because the guy is just such an athletic freak. He's got power, he's got speed, he's built like an Adonis. I mean, the guy is an absolute beast. You can't compare anybody to Jeremiah Smith. But yeah, Chris Henry Jr., he's got the skills, and you know what? Let him get in there and work with Schlegel a little bit, and if he's not doing the job, Schlegel will remove him politely.
Yeah. Tyler says OSU website has Chris Henry Jr. at 211. That frame can hold 235 easy.
6'5". Maybe that's what it is. He's just so tall that he weighs 211, but he could put, like you said, 230, 235 easily on there and chiseled. I'm sure that they will do that.
Devin Paul, wasn't Ted Ginn tall and lanky and fast? He was, but not that tall.
No, he was
6'1".
6'1", yeah.
He wasn't. You like Chris Henry Jr. walks out and you're like, oh, that looks different because he's that tall,
Yeah.
He kind of looks awkward a little bit. He's just so tall and lanky,
A little bit. Well, his dad looked awkward, but it was really good.
Yeah.
I remember as a Bengals fan, I used to call him the praying mantis because he was just just awkward, but so hard to defend. So, no, wide receiver room looks great. Let's talk quarterbacks now. Julian Sain, year 2, not in a quarterback competition like he was a year ago here. I thought he looked great, Bart. What did you think?
He makes the receiver room look good because every one of those passes are right. You look at other quarterbacks and it's high, a little low, a little bit. They were just right there in his chest. The dude is so accurate that it's unfair. And we saw this some last year too. He's going to bring that receiver room really high. And that's why I think Brock Boyd is just going to be awesome because he can get out of those routes, get a little separation, and boom, the ball's right there. Julian Sain just looks like a different person out there. Did you guys notice that? Like more of a leadership role, a little more, talkative. It seems like a different person out there.
I would say here's my take on day one practice with Julian Sain. He has become comfortable being QB1. I don't know how comfortable he was being that guy last year. I think his talent carried him in the scheme of the offense. I think he has grown comfortable being that guy. I don't know that his personality is such that he's going to scream and yell at someone on the sideline, but I don't know that he has to be like that. He definitely is not shy around people anymore. He was a little shy at first last year amongst Buckeye Nation. He walked right over to everybody, signed autographs, and the coolest story of the day. This little kid comes up and says, he's got a little football and a Sharpie, and he says, when are they going to sign autographs? And we're like, as soon as they're done. Could be 15 minutes, could be an hour. I'm like, I don't know. And it was
his birthday, Eric.
And it was his birthday. He was 9. I think it was his 9th birthday.
Yeah.
And he said, so he's talking with B. Moses, Chris, and I say, so who's your favorite player? And I thought for sure he was going to say Jeremiah Smith. He goes, Julian Sain. I was like, really? I go, why Julian Sain? He goes, because if he don't throw the football to Jeremiah Smith, we don't score.
He was wiser. He's wiser than us three all combined.
I was like, do you have a podcast? Because that's really good.
We can get him a segment.
B. Moses said, that might have been the smartest thing I've heard all day.
Of course, he was talking to you.
Well, he was staying with you and me all day, Eric. So.
Yeah, true. Good point. But then what was awesome is practice is over and everybody, the players are kind of looking over at the fans thinking, where am I going to go? And all of us, our entire section, yelling out Jeremiah, and we're pointing at this kid. We're going, it's his birthday. He loves you. He's your number one fan. And Jeremiah walks right up to the kid.
Julian.
Sorry, Julian. Julian Sain walks right up to the kid and signs his autograph for this kid. How awesome. And then the kid got Julian, Tavian St. Clair. He
Isaiah
got
West.
Isaiah West. I'm like, that football is going to be worth some money, kid. Like that is a wildly awesome football you just had signed. So,
W. Buck asked, did we see a difference in him physicality?
I thought he looked a little bit bigger. I thought his calves specifically looked a little bit bigger. Like maybe he's been working on that lower body strength. Which would obviously, not just generate more power when he's throwing the ball, but also the fact that he's going to take off and run a little more. I still think that, but we saw it early on. Yeah. Now he would have got crushed if it was full contact practice, because he was running right at Kenyatta Jackson, I believe it was over on that side, running right at him, and I thought, this guy is going to suffer a horrible, painful death.
Can you imagine that suspension if that happened?
But I'll tell you, to me, I thought he looked a little bit bigger. But more than anything, guys, I thought he carried himself. And Eric, you say he's not really a huge outspoken leader. He carried himself with a quiet confidence, I think is a way to put it. And like you said, Eric, I think he's comfortable. He is assuming that role. He's ready to take the responsibility of being QB1, and he's ready to put this team on his shoulders. And I think that confidence goes through the whole team. Mm-hmm. When they see it out of their quarterback, and let me tell you, I said it yesterday, I thought I've seen more out of Ryan Day this year as well. More of a focused confidence out of Ryan Day. And maybe it was the fact that a couple of years ago he got that first title under his belt. Maybe last year he finally beat Michigan, got them out off his back. But Ryan Day is more confident. I think that this coaching staff as a whole is coaching more confident, with the exception of a few individuals. And I think that it's just trickling down to these players. And these players who have been here a while, these guys who are third and fourth year guys now, they're confident. But it's not an arrogance. That's the big thing. It's not arrogance. It is a humble, quiet confidence. And I think that's the attitude of a champion. It really is. It is the attitude of a champion. And I'm looking so forward. After what I saw today, I'm very much looking forward to this season.
Not every quarterback has to be a rah-rah guy. Mm-hmm. Because if you are a rah-rah guy and then you go out there and you don't perform at an elite level, it falls on deaf ears. You don't. The huddle's going to look at you and like, shut up, dude. Like, we're out here busting our butts and you can't even make a 3rd and 5 out route, He, he's garnered the support of the huddle, and you're right, Chris. He's got a confident air about him. Physically, he does look. I think he looks slightly bigger. Maybe
It's not huge.
didn't
Maybe
see it,
he's packed on 10, 12 pounds. It's nothing major, but it's enough that maybe it keeps him physically healthy if he goes out and takes a hit or two. Or maybe it gives him a little more power when he's going for it on 3rd and 1 and gets stopped. Maybe it gives him a little bit more power to get that yard. Although if I see him running on 3rd and 1, I'm going to be very, very aggravated after what we saw from these backs today and how big and strong these guys are. Yeah, and let me tell you, going back to something Bart said, he was, you talked about his accuracy. He was threading the needle in traffic a bit today on some of those crossing routes. Some of those routes.
There was one pass that he threw, I think it was to Guilford, that was a perfect pass, but it was a perfect defensive stop where he got his hand over top.
Yeah,
it was like the
Matthews got it.
It was the one pass. No, it wasn't Matthews. It was Timmons.
Oh, it's Timmons. You're right. It was Timmons.
It was Timmons.
Number 25. Yeah, it was Timmons.
We're going to get to him in a minute too, when we go flip over to the defensive side. But let's go to TSC. Guys, he's so physically gifted.
He just looks the part of an NFL quarterback now.
When he walked out and he ran by, I go, that's an NFL quarterback right there.
Well,
he looks like Patrick Mahomes frame wise. He really does.
I think he's bigger than Pat Holmes.
He is bigger, but
can we just drop the bomb now that Tavian's 3rd team right now?
Shut up.
He is not 3rd team.
Well, they had the offense out there, and they had Julian as a 1st team, and then they had the backup, number 13, right behind him. Yeah, and then they had the 2nd team over on the other practice field, so it looked like Fahey was the 2nd team,
string quarterback.
Tavian just looks the part. If he can get all the tools, he just looks the part. But I guess to wrap up the offensive side, there's a couple things. First of all, how great were the players? How nice. I mean, I was sitting and Julian just came up right beside us, and then Tavian came over there, and then the running backs, and then some linemen came over there, and just say, "Hey, thanks for coming out," and fist bump, just
taking pictures, and
just great kids. My gosh. But I'm going to tell you what's going to stop this offense is not the players. If the coaches can get them in the right positions, I can't see anybody stopping us. I honestly don't. They are stacked on every position, minus a little bit of tight end, but we've won up without a tight end many times in the past. But if Arthur Smith can get these guys in the right position, watch out. I was very, very impressed with what I saw today.
Yeah, Tavian looks good. If God forbid, but if something happens to Julian, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Tavian's going to be fine. I just feel, and if you hadn't watched my video from earlier today, I recorded it last night. Go watch it, where I talk about I want to see Tavian in games more than what Ryan Day has done in the past with his backup quarterbacks, because we need to make sure that TSC is ready to go next year or this year in case it happens. $5 super chat from Midwest Boxing 4415 from an Indiana football fan. Good show, $5. Thank you, my man. We appreciate that. You've been a good sport, going back and forth and chopping it up with some of the guys and gals in the chat. We appreciate you very much. We appreciate that $5 super chat. And if you haven't, go check out, after the show, go check out the Indiana preview I did. I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy that if you haven't seen it yet, because I talk about your head coach very glowingly, rightfully so. But appreciate the super chat. Appreciate you being here, man, and appreciate the good vibes you're sending our way. All right. Anything else on quarterbacks before we flip it over to defense?
Don wants to know if Tavian is bigger than Will Howard.
Yes.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say this. Another quarterback that I thought ended up looking decent. He was a little rough at the start of the day, was underthrowing patterns just a little bit when he first got out there, was Luke Fahey. As the day went on, I thought his day got much better. He was, you could tell he's still very green. but the young man is a competitor. He is developing. And you know what? I think that next year, when conceivably Tavion's taking the reins, I think this young man can definitely compete for that number 2 spot.
All right, that's your offensive breakdown from practice number 1. Whew. Now let's flip it over to the defense, and let's start here up front. John Walker and Smith, the transfer from Alabama, James Smith, welcome to Ohio State. Boys, take a lap.
That was one of the
You
first
jump
plays.
off sides?
One of the first plays, both of them, they got both of them to jump off sides. But here's what I took away from that. We are mixing up our snap counts, everybody.
Yes.
Woo!
Yeah, with some hard counts going on. And I think Julia was taking a little bit of pleasure in trying to draw those guys off sides. I really do. And Philip Daniels darn sure was taking some pleasure in it because he sure as heck was pointing out every time somebody even thought about it.
You jump. Of course, our offensive linemen, or some of our backup offensive linemen, jumped at one time too, and they had to take a lap. But defensive line, I was not uber impressed, guys. I didn't see the pressure up front that I wanted to see. Now, they were playing incredibly vanilla for 11 on 11. Yeah. I get that.
You didn't mention the big part, though, Eric.
Okay.
They were playing incredibly vanilla in a 4-3-4 defense.
They played a 4-3-4 defense almost the entire practice, from what I could tell.
That was, I think, obviously a new wrinkle. Are we going to see more multiple sets out of the Ohio State defense this year?
Well, that makes me ask this question. Do we not have the depth in the secondary to play the 4-2-5, and are we just stronger at linebacker?
Well, I think we know we're stronger at linebacker. We all saw that today. When you have a true freshman out there calling the defensive plays.
Well, no, you don't get that. That's the best part of the day, in my opinion. But defensive line, I don't know what we got. I can't tell you what we have.
And we're not gonna know from today's practice. That's the thing.
And that's what we talked about, guys. I mean, if we went there and the offense looked bad, that means the defense is great. If the offense looked good, it means the defense was terrible. That's just the way. It's hard to have, the offense look great and the defense look great when you're going against each other. So maybe our offensive line is doing good, but I think we were very vanilla. We weren't doing any stunts, like Tyler says. But yeah, the 4-3-4 was very intriguing. Now, if we go against a passing team, obviously that's not going to happen. But we do have some very athletic linebackers that could cover a lot of people too. So,
and this is interesting. Would we see a 3-4? I don't think so. I don't think Larry Johnson will let us play a 3-4. He wants 4 down linemen. That is, everybody knows that he wants 4 down linemen, and you guys are probably right in that. I just want to see someone dominate on the defensive line, and we just didn't see that today. But they were incredibly manila. Ed Rogers, everyone plays a 4-2-5 now. Yeah, they do. Everybody plays a 4-2-5 now, but we didn't see it today. I mean, they were in the 4-3 almost the entire practice. But again, that could be scripted that way. Hey, we're gonna play a 4-3 the entire practice. I want a good look at all 3 of these linebackers. You know what I mean? And so that's how they script the practice, and then they get to watch the practice film, and they're pointing things out in these guys, and then it's like, okay, tomorrow we're gonna be in our base 4-2-5 because that's the base, and I could see Matt Patricia doing things like that, scripting out practices that way for certain things that he wants to take a look at. But
what do you think that Arch Manning would do? Very first series, 4-3-4. Like, what is this? Who's going to be open? What are we doing? And if you do show this in practice, guess what? If we're knowing it, Texas is going to know it. Guess what they have to practice now? A 4-3-4, just in case they see it. So it could just be a decoy, but depends on who they have at linebacker.
Don, how did Kenyatta Jackson look there? I didn't see, again, but I don't know that they were in a
We
position
didn't get to
flash.
see a lot of the first team though either, Erica. The first team
Yeah.
defense, they spent a lot of time on the far field. We didn't get to see how they were practicing. We only got to see them in the full 11 on 11, and it was sparingly. I'm not going to take anything away, but last year to me, Kenyatta Jackson stood out during the practices. This year we just didn't get to see enough of him to see whether he is or not.
Yeah, that's a good point. What did stand out to us was the linebackers. Now, when you're playing a 4-3-4, you get to see a lot more linebackers than you normally in the 4-2-5, obviously. Your starting linebackers, first ones out there, were Peyton Pierce, obviously, Riley Pettijohn, and the transfer from Wisconsin, Christian Allegro. And that was the first three out there, and then they mixed them up from there for the rest of the practice. Peyton Pierce is obviously your the leader of the linebacker room. That is obvious to me. But here's the fun stuff. Garrett Stover in a ton. He was in there.
He was talking some trash, Eric.
He is a trash talker. My God.
He was having a good time.
And then the other news, guess who was, when Peyton Pierce is not on the field, guess who's calling the defense from the linebacking position? True freshman, Sincere Johnson. That is a lot of trust in practice number 1 in the fall for a true freshman linebacker to say you're calling the defense practice number 1 when my main linebacker's not in the game. So mark it down right here. You heard it here first. Sincere Johnson's going to play this year.
A lot.
Well, when you say that he's calling the defense, that's what the middle linebacker does. That is what your main. If Peyton's not in there, that's who Sincere's replacing. It'd be like a running back going in there if Julian Sane go out and say, "Okay, I'm going to call the plays right now." That's who.
I wouldn't equate those two the same, Bart.
Your middle linebacker.
We had safeties calling the defense at Ohio State multiple times.
I just think your linebacker is one that usually does it.
Traditionally.
Correct? Yeah. So,
but the first day of practice,
it's just practice. That's all it is. Practice, Eric.
We're talking practice.
Practice.
This whole podcast has been about practice. I'm just telling you straight up. I'm telling you, Sincere is the man.
He is. He is freaking.
He is built different, and I love the fact that they're putting that on him. Tyler, how did Riley look? I felt he looked lost. I'm not gonna lie. He didn't flash to me. Peyton Pierce was flashing. Garrett Stover was flashing. Sincere Johnson was flashing. I can't tell you one time.
Allegro looked really good.
I can't tell you one point in the practice when I thought, oh, Riley Pettijohn, there he was. Now that it could be he was doing so good in coverage, he never got the ball thrown his way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not poo-pooing on the guy. I'm just saying when I walked away from practice, I said Peyton Pierce is our best linebacker, hands down, obvious. You got Allegro playing quite a bit, which was interesting, and Sincere Johnson is the next man up. If Bart says it's true, next man up. Not in those terms. Not in the terms you want to apply them to. What about Alfred? I didn't even. Again, I know he was. Really. I know he was there, but I didn't see him on the field. Garrett Stover played a lot,
and he played well.
He did. He's fast, guys. Garrett Stover might be the fastest linebacker on the team.
I almost wonder if you couldn't drop him back to safety if you were in a pinch.
Yeah, because he played safety in high school too. He was a safety. Big Walnut had him at the safety. He was always running downhill and just.
He was intended to be that Ronnie Hickman type of safety.
Yeah.
What about the transfers? I didn't see too much of them. Did you? Did you guys notice very much? Out of Earl Little or anything?
No.
Not from the safeties, but there was a transfer that stood out at corner a little bit today. Kelly from Georgia actually had a really good
Okay,
practice
hot
today.
take. I think Mika, when you say QR code, are you who you talking about? Is that your nickname for
Quarasaw.
Qual Rusaw? He didn't have to take a lap for jumping off sides, so that was
Not like-
better than the other transfers.
Not like James Smith, no.
By the way, that might have been the slowest lap in the history of a lap. Those two
Yes.
running together. I'm like, good night, you guys.
Oh.
It's gonna take you the entire time to get back around. I was like, my gosh. Okay, let's talk corner a little bit. Devin Sanchez, he got burned several times today.
He was one-on-one with Jeremiah Smith quite a few times. Let's call it how it is. Not every time, but
Devin got him too, man. I don't think he's our best corner. I don't think he's our best
know that
corner.
He is.
I know people are going to disagree with me. They're going to hate me on this take. I don't think he's our best corner. Now, I could be completely wrong once we get to the season. But I wasn't wrong last year. He wasn't our best corner last year. I don't know that he's our best corner this year. They have him on JJ quite a bit, and good luck with that. I mean, JJ gets what JJ wants. You can't.
It's like Jordan. You just got to give him his.
You can't stop the man.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong, but my eyeballs tell me he's given up a lot more than Matthews was.
I would say this. Iggy and last year with Iggy, even with Jermaine Matthews, I think they were more physical or tried to be more physical with Smith, which good luck with that, by the way. But they at least tried to be more physical. I think that Sanchez just simply isn't physical enough to try to get out there and body up with.
He should be. He's big.
That
he's
may
bigger
be
than Matthews.
That may be, whether it's attitude, whether it's strength, I don't know. But he does not play as physically against JJ as those guys did.
Good luck trying to play physically against JJ. I get it.
Agreed. I agree with that. But
we were in man the whole practice, Tyler. I didn't see zone at all. It was straight man the whole practice.
But Sean's going to be upset about that because Sean loves zone coverage.
Yeah. All right. So other secondary talk. Vader wants to know about Timmons. He's good.
Oh, he's really good.
Go ahead, Chris. Talk to us about Timmons.
He was really good in tight coverage. Great use. We saw the one pass there that was perfectly defended. Without even coming close to contact, he reaches around the receiver, which was Guilford on that one, and just smacks the ball away. It was a play that you expect out of a third or fourth year corner, not an incoming freshman. He is playing above his level right now.
Yeah.
He is a guy that's going to see time this year. And if Devin Sanchez isn't really good, it might be some of his snaps that are gone.
He's good. He's very, very good. Bart, you got any Timmons takes?
Not really. That was the one play that stood out. He timed it perfectly. I don't think it was a flag for interference. He just had a nice play. You hope that you do that the very first practice in front of everybody. That bodes well for the rest of the year. Now, does he going to be? I'm sure Sanchez had breakout moments in camp last year, but he just doesn't show on the field. But showing on the field in a real game versus practice is two huge things. But he has the talent to do it. He definitely has the talent to do it. So Sanchez has just got to step up his game.
Sean Schrock, good to see you, buddy. Was Matthews playing nickel at all? Nope. Corner.
Yeah, Devin Paul.
Here's the thing: we didn't have a nickel today.
Yeah.
No,
it was linebacker.
It was 4-3. Yeah.
So in coverage, we saw Garrett Stover in coverage, and he did really well. But former safety, so it makes sense. We saw who was the other linebackers we saw in coverage? Christian Alliegro in coverage one time. I remember him going out in coverage on a tight end. So it was a lot of vanilla stuff today. We never saw a deep ball the whole practice.
No.
Everything was short. Everything was over the middle. a lot of mesh routes, a lot of, receiver cuts across, tight end follows, and then running back peels off, and a lot of short punchy things to get the quarterbacks in rhythm, I think. But yeah, Deb and Paul. All right, let's talk about this. Did you see the kicker? 0 field goal attempts today in
0.
practice.
And I told you how that
that's
should have
odd.
went down.
That's odd.
Well, I believe they were inside the Woody kicking field goals.
Probably. Yeah, but it was perfect out there today.
I know, but you could only have so much time out there with the fans. What do the fans really want to see? Yeah, we would love to see a 50-yard field goal, but they're kicking field goals inside the Woody when they're utilizing both fields for practice. Oh, the other thing that was different, natural grass at the Woody for practice. Yeah. They've replaced the turf, and we have 2 practice fields with natural grass now outside of the Woody. So they replaced the turf at the Shoe, they replaced the turf at the Woody, inside the Woody, and they replaced the turf outside the Woody with natural grass. So we have 1 turf field, and then we have 2 natural grass fields, and that's what they were practicing on today was the natural grass fields. So that's good news for injuries, I think. We saw the punters a little bit before practice got started. They came out early and were doing a little bit of punting. As far as special teams, when receiving the punts, Brandon Ennis was receiving punts. Philip Bell was receiving punts.
Real good.
And he looked very smooth. Jeremiah Smith was fielding punts, but he's never going to unless it's an emergency.
Actually, Jeremiah did not take an actual punt. He was back there with the crew. He did not actually take a single.
He didn't? I didn't see that.
He did not. All the others did. It was. I mean, there was a bunch of them back there doing it, but he was one that did not. Bell was back there. Obviously, we said he looked good, but there was a bunch of people back there. He was. Brock Boyd was back there. Desi Jones was back there. Jeremiah was back here. Did not take a punt. And you know what? We don't want to see him take a punt, Eric. There's no reason for him to be out there on special teams risking injury.
Hey, guess what? Who else I didn't want to see go back and get a punt? Caleb Downs. Guess what he did? Took one. That
worked out pretty well on the one he did.
It did, but did you want to see him back there? Your star defensive player?
No.
You didn't. But he still got the. Can you imagine Jeremiah Smith with open field? But you don't want to get him hurt too.
I would not want to try to tackle him with a full head of steam. I know that.
Gosh, no.
No, Jaden Fielding was not seen today at practice. So, Devin Paul.
Yeah, he was. He was there.
Stop it, Bart.
There was trash cans all over the place.
Okay, Devin Paul. They don't want us to see them miss or have meltdowns. You have no idea how true you are. Read this.
Yes.
Practice rules. Filming or wide shots during team periods are prohibited. No reporting or posting about injuries, formations, or personnel. We are breaking one of their rules right now as we speak.
Well, that's a first. We've never broken any of their rules before.
Wowzer, guys.
11 Warriors has video up of the practice.
10 TVs there has video of the practice up.
I mean, come on. What, do you want fans to go there and just don't talk about it? It's like,
But it was good they had Schlegels come out and warn us all.
Yeah, you tend to listen to Schlegels when he says that.
So Schlegels grabs the microphone and tells everybody what the rules are, and he says, if you break any of these rules, I will escort you out personally. Positively.
On a positive note.
Like he did that kid who ran on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, that was our defense. Now let's take your questions in the chat. And so if you have any questions that didn't get answered, or if you came in late and there's some kind of question you have, feel free to throw it in the chat. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to do so. My overall thoughts from the practice today: beautiful weather. Great atmosphere. They had more things for kids today than they've ever had before. If you want one of the new jerseys, you can get them for
$250. The new
$250 is what Nike is charging.
Now those are the authentic jerseys. Those are the ones that have the tight sleeve. Those are the new stripe, the tight sleeve. These are the ones that you see Nate wear a lot on the air.
Or you can buy one from us for $19.99.
Bart, don't do that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You can?
Authentic jerseys, yes.
And no, even if they weren't the authentic jerseys, you couldn't get them for $19.95.
Where the Nike symbol falls off mid-wash.
Yeah, $250 for the new jersey.
New shoes were $180.
The new shoes were $180.
I like them though.
I
almost bought them.
Everything has gotten expensive, but it was a lot of fun. So my takeaways, that was an interesting thing. There were less people today than in the past when we went. Now, I think two reasons. One, we went on a Thursday. Last year we went on a Saturday. And two, they jacked the prices way up. Oh. For Bart, Chris, and I to go, it was $144 for three of us.
$154 because you have to include $10 for parking, which they never charged for before.
Yeah. They charged $10 for parking today, which again used to be free. So $10 so $154 is what it cost us to go. But
welcome to the new college football.
Yeah,
and they might not get to see the next two practices because it might be raining. So
that's true. This could
be the only one we see.
Because if it's raining too hard, they're going to move that baby to the Woody, and they're going to say, sorry about your luck.
Yeah.
Anyways, great atmosphere. I thought it was a good practice. The practice was shorter today than in the past.
It was 2 hours.
It was 3 hours.
Oh, yeah, there were three before. Yeah.
So I don't know if Ryan Day is taking the Curt Cignetti approach here and saying less is more possibly. Let's squeeze in more in 2 hours and not kill the guys here in practice number one, or if it's just practice number one and they're building up to 3 hours. But a year ago it was 3 hours. It was 2 hours today. And it was I came away thinking Garrett Stover defensively is going to play. Sincere Johnson is going to get time in and play at linebacker. And offensively, I think Devin McEwen is going to be second on the team in receiving yards. Those were my takeaways today from practice. Bart, your takeaways?
They look very polished for the very first practice. Everybody knew what they were doing, and it was a very, very efficient practice. There was no standing around. They were just doing something the whole time. All the coaches were just into it. It seemed like Ryan Day was more relaxed, more of a CEO than a position coach or worried about play calling. The guys were just amazing with the kids and the fans. It was just a great experience, and I'm glad that I got to spend it with two of my best friends of all time. The guy standing beside me, not you guys. So, they were from Amish.
Those guys over there were pretty.
They were from Amish country, but they heard about the Haya podcast. So
they were cool. They were cool. Chris, you're over. You takeaways from today's practice.
I'm trying not to be too excited, but I think there was a lot of reasons to be positive about this year's team. Offensively, I think we see a little bit different team than we've seen in the past. I don't think we're back up to that full, run and gun style, so to speak, but I think this is going to be an offense that I'm confident in Arthur Smith at this point and his decision making. The way he was out there coaching those kids showed me something. And I think that this offense is going to be just fine. Meek asked earlier, did Julian Sand run? Yes, he did take off on one play. And as I said, he would have got creamed. So thank goodness he was not full contact. But no, I think the offense is in good shape. I'm concerned about our tight end room, as you talked about. And you know what? I think we have obviously the best wide receiver room in the country. I don't know what we don't have top to bottom, the best linebacking room in the country. We may not have the best linebacker in the country, but top to bottom, that may be the most complete room in the country.
I also think our running back room is incredibly good.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So
I forgot to mention this real fast, and then Chris, I got one final question. Then we're gonna go to your questions for the last 30 minutes of the program. 3 years in a row, Chris, we've gone to the practice now and we've watched. This is the best the offense has looked in 3 years.
by far. And there's I think a lot of it that first year was with Will Howard coming in. I don't think he was up to speed yet.
Yeah, true.
Julian
mean
is
new offensive coordinator. You're not up to speed the first practice. That sounds weird, kind of, Eric. So,
but no, to me this is a relaxed team. This is a team that is poised. Very business-like approach to it. So I think that this is the offense is just it's ready to roll. And again, I have a lot of confidence right now that I didn't necessarily have in Arthur Smith. And let me tell you another coach that was, I thought, very outspoken and did a good job of coaching up his guys a bit today. And somebody who gets maligned a lot, even here on this program. And that was Tyler Bowen.
Yeah, good call.
I thought he was doing a tremendous job out there today.
I also forgot to mention when they went to the shells and they were doing the drill where the offense against air was running their routes and the quarterback would point. Did you guys catch Billy Fessler was calling the plays? And I went, oh, whoa. Didn't see that one coming. I don't know if Arthur was somewhere else or he was working maybe with another group doing drills because it was just the offensive line, the quarterback, the tight ends, the wide receiver, and the running back. It was just the offense. There was no defense out there, and they were going against air, and they weren't even going through the routes very fast. They were just kind of, hey, here's this play. Now let's see what it looks like. But Billy Fessler was calling the plays. I thought that was incredibly interesting that Ryan Day chose Billy to get some play calling practice, and it wasn't Keenan Bailey.
Is this your hot take that Billy Fessler's going to be calling the plays this year? And
no, it's not my hot take. Arthur Smith is calling the plays. Is evident, and then
Tavian's going to be the third string quarterback.
Bart,
and Legend Bay got kicked off the team.
Bart, the algorithm just picked that up, and our numbers went through the roof because of that bull crap lie you just made. All right, let's go through these questions real fast, guys, for the next 30 minutes. Fire your questions at us. I will read the question, and I'll choose one of you to answer it quickly. Bart, how did the linebackers look from Donald Hoffer?
Good. It's hard to tell, but with what they were running today, but I had 3 linebackers. I just think they're trying to find out who they have on their team that'll step up. But what we saw, we are stacked at linebacker. I think there's going to be a little drop of 2 first round picks last year, but the cupboard's not bare by any sense of the means. So
they're quick.
They are very quick.
The linebacking room is quick.
Yeah. Yes. They're not as big as last year's linebackers, but
we don't have a line. I mean, the biggest linebacker is Sincere Johnson.
Yeah.
TJ Alford looks big, but
I mean, nobody's going to get Sonny Styles as big.
No, but they're quick. They're quick to the ball.
Yeah.
Tyler Kersley, what's up, T? How did the safeties look today, Chris?
Solid but unremarkable. We didn't point them out as a group they didn't stand out to us for poor play, but they didn't exactly stand out to us for making any great plays either. I thought it was solid, but then again, we didn't see much downfield passing, and the guys were pulling up on the runs after a few yards. So the safeties really didn't get a chance.
The safeties were there to two-hand tap the running backs after they had ran through giant gapping holes on the defensive line. I'll say that 3 or 4 times.
Sean says he's getting commercials.
Yeah, that's YouTube, not us. So I noticed the other day YouTube does this thing now where the commercials are off to the side and you still can see the live. But I don't know about audio. You guys have to let me know how that is. Like, do you hear the audio of the commercial and not us, or do you hear our audio and no audio on the commercial? It's interesting. Wilbot, did you see Arthur Smith touch on anything today, Bart?
Not really. He was just, when we had vocals, he was just on everybody calling plays. Looked like he was in command. He was just, you could tell he's the leader of the offense. He did things, and then if he didn't see something right, he would point it out. But he just looked in charge, and I think Ryan, that just takes so much pressure off of Ryan Day. I think Ryan Day had to babysit a little bit at Hartline, and maybe Hartline was just a little timid last year, being the first time. Arthur Smith just seems like he's done this, and he has, and just so refreshing to see that. He's a Matt Patricia of the offense now, and the guys seem to love him. They interact really well, and he seems like I remember when me and you were on, and I talked to you. It's like, who's going to be the new coordinator? It's going to be. It's like, who? It's like, that wasn't on our radar. He could turn out to be the best pick that Ryan Day has had, other than Matt Patricia.
This is the first time I have physically saw Ryan Day hands off on the offense.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
He spent more time with the defense today
And that's
than he did the offense.
so good for him. He knows offense. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, complete trust in Arthur Smith.
yeah.
Mika, did Sane look bigger? We already answered this, but Chris, could you give her a quick answer real fast?
Yeah, I thought he looked a little bit bigger. Maybe he's put on 10, 12 pounds. The calf muscles, I think, were a little more defined. I think he's probably building up that lower body a little bit, help him get, like I said, a little more strength on the throws, but also help him be able to power run if he needs a yard or two. He's going to be leaned on to run a little bit this year. Not a lot, but as Bart likes to say, all we got to do is show it 2 or 3 times a game, and all of a sudden, everybody has to prepare for it. So, I think that's exactly what we're going to see. But yes, he did look, I thought, slightly bigger, but I was less impressed by how much bigger he'd gotten and far more impressed by the confidence in which he is operating that offense.
Ed Rogers, please don't tell me Bo is going to start. I'll take this one. I don't know. I don't know who's going to start opposite of KJ2. So, but I will say this. Physically, Bo might be the second biggest guy on that defensive line. Just height and, just looking at the guy. He's big dude. He's a big, strong-looking guy. But I don't know if he's going to start or not. They were rotating a lot on the defense, a lot. So it was hard to get a real grasp of who was in there first and who are they thinking could be the start. But if he can put it together, if he plays like he looks, he could be a force. But
Qual
looking
got a
and
lot
playing
of
are two
playing
different
time
things.
early.
Qual?
Rasaw was in there quite a bit early.
Yeah, QR code, as I've learned tonight. All right, Bart, Chris, who was the starting offensive line, guys?
This one's for Sean. Oh, Sean, my friend. Let me tell you who the offensive line was that was starting today. It was all of your favorite picks because we had Ian Moore in at left tackle, Luke Montgomery at the guard, of course, Hensman in the center, with Austin Sverveld at the right guard, and right tackle Philip Daniels, just the way you wanted it.
We're too deep on the offensive line. I don't think the second
absolutely.
string offensive line is as good as the first string offensive line, but Ryan Day has got opportunities to try some different things out this fall, and I think he will. I don't think this is how it's going to be every single practice, but I do think this is how they're leaning. Is that fair to say, Chris?
I would agree with that. And Ryan Day has told us in the press conference today, nothing is set. There are no 1s and 2s. It's scarlets and grays. Don't believe it for a second, guys. That's coach speak. Ryan Day knows who he wants out there, and the 5 guys he marched out there today, I think, are the 5 that he at least believes right now give him the best opportunity to win. But changes can be made. It's fluid.
Right. I would say this. If we had to play a game tomorrow, that's who your starting offensive line is. But we're not playing a game tomorrow. So like you said, Chris, things are fluid. How big did that offensive line look, Bart? Real big when Sam Greer's in there.
When Greer was in there, huge. Other than that, not impressive. That we don't have any huge weight There's no 350-pound dudes that just are going to maul you. They just look athletic. If 300 pounds looks athletic, they look very athletic and be able to move. Philip Daniels, probably the biggest, would you guys say, on the offensive line?
Definitely the
But
roundest. How about that?
the roundest, but they just look very athletic that they can pass block and run block. But I think, maybe Mika brought it up about maybe Arthur Smith's new blocking scheme. Maybe that kind of did a number on the defensive line today. Maybe they were just going vanilla and they had a good blocking scheme, but I don't know how much they were working on it. So, yeah, they didn't look big, but they look good.
Did you guys see Jake Cook? Yes, he was playing second string guard today. But yep, we saw Jake. Sean, is anyone getting commercials or is it just me?
It wasn't just Sean. Two other people have posted, I believe, in the chat that they're getting a lot of commercials.
Well, that's YouTube for you. I tell you what, I can turn it off if I get some super chats.
The other way they can avoid commercials is to follow you on Patreon, Eric.
That's right. Cincy Kid 8000, they will miss Caleb. I think any team who had Caleb.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
You guys go. Oh, we go mute during commercials. Oh, that sucks.
And the one super chat you did get was from an Indiana guy.
An Indiana fan.
Yeah. Donald Hoffer, how involved was Matt Patricia in the practice and where did he spend most of the time? On the sideline coaching. He was not out there in the field. Like Coach Locke will run out in the field and scream.
Well, okay, to be fair, the offensive coaches were behind the offense.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The defensive coaches were on the sideline because our offense was running towards the goal line. They did not want to get involved in the play, so they had to be on the sideline.
Bart, thank you for saying that because that is different than what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
When they would catch a ball, you're running to the end zone.
Yes.
You don't stop. Even if they two-hand tap you, even if you that is something that Coach Hank is installing in these wide receivers is the yak, and you keep running. Like you get used to breaking tackles, running by people, and going and scoring touchdowns. Like that is an emphasis in that wide receiver room, and so yeah, so they couldn't stand behind the defense when that's going on.
Something fun we didn't talk about because we didn't see it, guys, but I caught it off of 11 Warriors, actually. And that was, did you realize a former Buckeye was out there taking reps at receiver and defensive back during the practice?
Who?
CJ Barnett, the current head of player development, was actually taking reps with the team at defensive back and scout team receiver.
Well, he's just out there with
he was having fun.
Putting 10 to 12 pounds on is no joke for a quarterback. You say it so nonchalantly. Did we say it nonchalantly?
I think I maybe underplayed it a little more, but I mean I get what he's saying.
Let me replay it. He put 10 to 12 pounds on. Is that better?
But you could take some flabbiness and turn and not look very much bigger, but you do way bigger. I think he looks more defined than he did last year. Let's just say that.
Muscle weighs more than fat.
Oh, I'd be 500 pounds if I put muscle on then. So,
how did Grady look?
Unremarkable.
Yeah, our whole defensive line, I just don't think it was vanilla, like you said. They weren't doing a lot of stuff and trying to get upfield. The offense was more. It looked like they were trying to work on things on offense without getting interrupted too much by the defensive. But maybe they were. We didn't see it.
Realistically, though, Bart, I would say this: who wants to be the idiot that makes the mistake of running into Julian Sand or getting tangled up with Jeremiah Smith? Who wants to make that mistake in the first practice of the year?
Nobody.
If you do, you better not close both eyes when you sleep. That's all I'm going to say.
Mr. Breeze says his prediction is we're going to see rotations pretty much in all groups long season, need to keep players fresh. I wouldn't say all groups. I don't think you're going to see a ton of rotation on the offensive line.
No.
I don't think you're going to see a ton of rotation at running back. I think you're going to see 2 running backs mostly. You're not going to see any rotation at quarterback, although there should be a little bit at times. But on defense, maybe I don't think we're going to see a ton of rotation at corner. Maybe one. Maybe Timmons gets in a little bit, but linebacker, sure. Defensive line, sure.
Wide receiver, absolutely.
Wide receiver, probably.
Not named Smith.
Right. Sean, how did Carter Lowe look? Second string.
Yeah.
He's developed a little more since last year, but he's behind where he should be, to be completely honest with you. Yeah. You know why you usually don't get commercials? Because I forget to turn them on. And then I don't get paid anything for doing this. So that's just an honest truth with you. I remember to turn commercials on. And I would totally turn them off if we get super chats, but we never get super chatted.
Did you just say it cost us $154 that you're trying to make some of that up right now?
Yeah. $154, man. So I know I've spoiled some of you people. That's the problem. We've spoiled you guys. Mika, I got you muted again. I've spoiled you guys.
Yeah.
This is how YouTube normally is. Again, we can turn it off. We can start getting super chats. Or we just go. Or we're gonna do. Well, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I don't want to let the cat. More under the center play calling, play action. I didn't really see that today.
No.
There wasn't a ton of ones against ones. So it was like 5 minutes of it. They were running plays that seemed like, yeah.
I will say this. I thought that Julian Sain rolled out a lot more today. Seemed like he rolled out on quite a few passes today.
The one play I really liked was that he was rolling out to his right, and the tight end hooked the linebacker and then let him go. So the linebacker and then he peeled off to the right and did into a little short side of the field and caught a pass. We haven't seen that too many times, so it looked nice.
Tyler, how was Coach Hankton's coaching in comparison to Hartline? Similar? I would call it similar.
How can you tell? I don't know.
I mean, just based off of what observations from the past couple years to this year. I mean, I think it would be more comparable to 2 years ago when he was just the wide receiver coach. A lot more hands-on running, but I liked what I saw from Coach Hank. He's high energy. He's not Coach Lock in your face. I think I would describe him more of a teacher than a motivator, but it's hard to compare anybody to Coach Lock.
Well, he's not the best. He's not the best wide receiver in his room. That's the thing.
Ooh.
Coach Lock's the best running back in his room. He'll tell you that. Coach Hank is not the best wide receiver in his room.
Yeah. Did the wide receivers block? Yes.
They had drills they ran.
Wide receiver blocking drills. Never have seen that. So, yeah. They had on spider pads, didn't they?
Yeah, they were not full pads today, but they had the spider pads.
Troy, didn't we lose Houston for the first practice last year? Yes, we did. I remember that. So yeah, we did get that. Let's see. Thank you guys for being our eyes at practice today. You're welcome, Don. It was fun. Can I be honest with you? It's better to not be in the media at these practices. They put the media all the way behind the end zone, and most of it's done in midfield. And so we sat up at midfield on the 45, 40-yard line, and we got the bird's eye view of the entire 11-on-11. So I kind of felt bad for the media members.
But you guys have been there, and you guys put us in a perfect position to watch the running backs, and and like I said, Julian Sain came right over to us.
Troy says he has a YouTube Premium and there's no commercials ever. I didn't know that was a thing.
See, but the thing about with Troy is he's a millionaire. I don't know if you guys knew that. He should be getting a lot of super chats from Troy because he can afford anything and everything. So
he lives in that house out there on 315.
He does. He lives on the mansion on the hill
the mansion on the hill on 315. Yeah. If you know what we're talking about. Goodness sakes. Donald Hoffer, you think the defense was bland because of it being a public practice, possibly giving hope to the fan base for us to score more than 21 points against good competition? Yes and no. I think first practice for everybody's a little vanilla. But no, I think the offense is ahead of where we've seen them in the last couple years. So that's good. Let's see. We are undercover media. We are the reason why this exists when you show up right there.
Can I say though, I agree with you. I would not want to be in the media area because I think a big part of this thing and is the fact that we get to interact with the common fans like us. We get to interact with all the fans that are out there, and we get to interact with guys like Bean Moses, who chooses to hang out in that area as well. Even though I'm sure he could probably get into the media area should he choose. I mean, it's a crappy view, and you don't get to have. You still got to have the feel of being a fan when you go and do what we do.
Yeah. Well, and I don't see us as media though. We're just super crazy Ohio State fans that have no other better life to do but just live, breathe, and go Ohio State football. We're fans first, and then just report back because we love talking about Ohio State with other Ohio State fans.
Well,
it's not a job to us,
right? And I will answer this by saying I tried last year to go full time and do this, and you can do it in season. And as soon as the season ends, if you didn't make enough for those 5 months and to save up for it,
then you go cry to your friends who can give you a
job. You are in trouble if you're living paycheck to paycheck.
Is that what you do? You start crying
to
your friends?
Bart loves himself today. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you just cry to your friends like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know."
Bart in for the rest.
My wife's gonna leave me. I don't know about.
I never said that. You know that it would never happen.
It smelled like skunk at your house. So
it does smell like. Yes, my dog got sprayed by a skunk the other night.
And your wife smelled like skunk too because she was out there with the dog. Too.
So my house
you got to bed all by yourself that night. So
yeah, it's a little stanky in the Boggs household because of a skunk in my backyard.
Bart, you're laughing at what happened to the dog and what happened to Sarah. I don't know that the next time you go to Eric's, you want to eat whatever's being served. I'm just telling you.
Well, she's a good cook. I love her cheesecake too. So
you guys are better than most because you are the real fans like us. Appreciate you, the lunatic fringe. That's it, man. Yeah, it was awesome. So a little behind the scenes, and then we'll call it a show. I've been doing this since 2019. They gave me the nickname the Podfather because Corey and Johnny and myself and Aaron Brown were the first 4 fan-only podcasts. Everything else was media. We were the first fans to start a podcast. And it was audio only back in those days. Johnny has since retired. He sold his podcast to Chat Sports. So if you go to Chat Sports Ohio State here on YouTube, that used to be Corey and Johnny's show. And so they're out of the game. Corey still hangs out with us as far as I know. He hasn't been on for a while, but he took some time off. Last year when I tried to make a go of it full time, I'm not gonna lie, it steals your joy a little bit. It takes away some of the fandom, and it becomes a job, and you start worrying about chasing the algorithm and trying to make enough money to survive, and you don't really get to do or say what you want. And so I'm like, this is the best version of me as a podcaster is as a full-fledged fan where I don't have to worry about trying to make a living doing this. That's just my honest take.
The best version of Eric is Bart.
Thank you.
You two sons of guns, I tell you.
We see way too much of each other during the week too.
remember to send a link to that first show. You want to hear the first show ever?
You really don't. I've heard it. You really do.
We really do. I've never heard it either.
It's me. That's it. I did the first show by myself in my basement, recording myself, and here's how old it was, ranking the top 14 coaches in the Big Ten. And why? It's
John
about
Cooper,
19,
number 1.
It's about 19 minutes long, and it's me saying about 450 times. Nasty. Someone say cheesecake?
I like cheesecake.
Anyways, that was our 2-hour. We went and watched 2 hours of practice, and we just did a 2-hour podcast about it. Seems
you
about
called
right.
that one though on the ride home.
Yeah.
You said we got so much to unpack here. It's going to take us 2 hours, and sure enough,
Yeah.
you were right.
It did. All right. So here's the deal. Tomorrow I've got a video about John Cooper. I made a post about John Cooper on Facebook that a lot of people had opinions on, and we read those and we talk a little bit about John Cooper. It's a pretty good video. I think you guys are going to like that. That's going to be on tomorrow. I'll have another video probably on Saturday at some point. Maybe a recruiting video. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. And then Sunday night we'll be back live. Chris will be running the Sunday night show. I'm going to be away Sunday night, and then I'm buckling back up for the season for every single Sunday night. So that's the plan for now. This was a lot of fun.
That Cooper video, I just got a question. Does it last about 2 minutes and 10.1 seconds? Just out of curiosity.
The 2, 10, and 1. Funny, Chris. Funny. I think you should watch it, Chris. And I think you should do. And then you should do a video responding to my video.
Reaction video, yes.
Do a reaction video to my video, and we'll put it on Patreon.
Here's the thing. I actually like John Cooper.
Well, don't say anything. You watch the video. I think people will be surprised to learn some of the stuff about John Cooper that we know because of Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I think people will be surprised.
And Mike.
Mike
Wargo loved John Cooper.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Awesome day, guys. Thank you so much, Bart and Chris, for hanging out and being my extra eyes and ears at practice. It was awesome. Do you agree? And it's a final thing. Do you guys agree? You learn more about the team going to 1-2 hour practice than you do in the spring game.
100%.
I would agree with that.
Yep.
The spring game, to me, spring game has become celebrating our community as a podcast to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the practice is where you learn. That's where you learn the juice, man. That's when you learn the nuts and bolts of this team. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Smash the like button on your way out if you haven't already. We appreciate all of you. Check out that John Cooper video tomorrow. Have a great weekend, all. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Bart. OH.
I-O.
Go Bucks. And Scum still.
We're not doing it anymore.